happen here, right? What did he tell us? I am going to prepare a place for you. What's he done? He's prepared a place for us. He's the bridegroom. Who's he coming back for?
His bride.
His bride. And this is our habitation. This is where we will be. Not only is it a prepared city, it's a beautiful city. Okay? The brilliance of the city radiates from the light of God's glory. And this is discussed throughout this chapter. Most of what we're going to read here, most of what we're talking about tonight, is hard for us to even necessarily comprehend, okay? But check this out. The city is surrounded by a great high jasper wall that demonstrates its strength. Remember, for a city, your strength was displayed by the wall that you had, okay? The 12 gates are all made out of one pearl. With one pearl, God makes these 12 gates of this city. And each gate is labeled with one of the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. And their position around the city, how are they positioned? Three each side. Three. Every side has 3 gates, okay? And when you read later on, they're all left open, okay? And so what we find out is these gates being like they are, it demonstrates the accessibility of this new Jerusalem. They are never closed. They are never closed. The 12 foundation stones are labeled with the names of the apostles, and I wrote down the stones there again, these beautiful, precious stones that are there. And the wall is measured to be 144 cubits, or around 200 feet. Okay? 144 cubits, around 200 feet. You think it's 200 feet high or 200 feet wide? We don't know. We don't know. 200 feet wide sounds pretty excessive, doesn't it? Yes. Until you read about the city. And so we don't know for sure if it's 200 feet high or 200 feet wide. But check out what happens to the city. The city is said to be made of pure gold. And then you read it talks about being crystal clear. How is that? I thought it was made of gold. Gold in its purest form, purified completely out, is clear. You think about what's radiating through the city. Light from God. God's glory. You ever see light hit glass and what it does? Can you imagine what it looks like in there? The colors, with these precious stones and everything else that's happening. The streets are made with the same pure gold. It is a massive city. I'm not even sure what I said. It was funny.
No, Richie said we could
Okay.
go wild.
Yeah.
My look right there. Get there, gold, yellow.
Actually, you won't worry about that. We're going to talk about that in a second. The dimensions demonstrate it's a cube city. It's as wide as it is tall. Okay, listen. This is different now. It's as wide as it is tall. It's 12,000 furlongs. When we read that, okay, 12,000 furlongs, sure. Okay. In the Greek, the word is stadia. There's 2 different words there that there's some discussion. The number we're going to write down tonight is 1,400 miles. That's one way. 1,400 miles wide, 1,400 miles wide, 1,400 miles tall. The other, depending on the word choice that's used there, the exact translation, it's either 1,400 or 1,500. Okay, it's huge. Huge. Okay, it's big. And then we have a new circumstance. Quickly, God's presence characterizes eternity for the believer. God's presence characterizes eternity for the believer. The city, as beautiful as it is, would not be any. The beauty wouldn't even matter had God's glory not been there. But God's presence defines eternity. And check this out. Just as God's presence characterizes eternity for the believer, God's absence characterizes eternity in the lake of fire for the lost. There will be no more tears, no more sorrow, no more pain, no more death. Color blindness? You got a limp? No more. All that stuff, all of it is totally gone, completely and totally eradicated. Any of our ailments, all those things, they're gone. Every need will be met. There's a fountain of living water there, free to all who thirst. There's a tree of life there that offers life freely to those who partake of its fruit. The inheritance is given to every child of God. As co-heirs with Christ, we enjoy every benefit of heaven. Eternal justice will be rendered to those who rejected God, leaving only those who love God. In the millennium, we thought that's kind of what there was, right? It seemed like everybody loved God, everybody was following God, but all it took was Satan showing back up, and what happened? A giant, massive army came about ready to go up against him. No more. All of sin has been completely and totally eradicated, and all that's left are those who love God. The inhabitants of this new earth and new heaven will be those whose names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And stop and think about this for a second. Imagine a world where everyone acts in the same accord and for the same holy purpose. What that world would look like. How that would be. There will be no temple, no house of God, for God himself and Jesus Christ are the temple. There will be no sun. Remember at the beginning of creation, God says, let there be light, and there's light. And then on day 4, he creates the sun, moon, and stars. There will be no sun, for the glory of God will be the light of the city. There will be no night, because God's glory will shine eternally. And every nation, every king will bow and worship God freely, and this is important, with a pure heart. Yes, sir.
Are there stages in heaven?
There's, I believe so. There's also a matter of, okay, part of that stage can be even, we talked about, okay, is everyone, the entire church, are they a part of the bride, or is it those who have been faithful that are part of the bride? You also have, those of the glorified body have entrance into New Jerusalem, even though they're in heaven. The Old Testament saints, right? You have the Old Testament saints, they're going to reside in heaven. You have the New Testament saints who will reside, if all the bride is included, if all those are included in the bride, their habitation is in New Jerusalem. And then you have those on the earth who are able to go there as well. But there's certain biblical evidences that would point to something like that, Richie.
Yes, sir.
Discussion for another time.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Cool. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Don't forget a couple of things. If you would like to help with the raking of the leaves that I shared about earlier, please come and see me. Also, guys, if I can get you to help with moving this stuff out here,